Hello YouTube, Komodo Gaming here, bringing you guys another episode of Scrap Mechanic, and today we are doing the farm final. I want to thank you guys for all the support on the farm, all the comments, all the suggestions. It's been amazing. I tried to knock out as many suggestions as possible. I've got quite a bit to show you this episode, so thank you guys for that. Now, I did upload yesterday. It was a viewer creation episode. It was a little later than I normally upload. I've been trying something out for the weekdays, trying to upload just a bit later. So if you missed that, I'll link that in the description too. And lastly, before we begin this update, I want to go ahead and ask you guys, what do you want to see next in Scrap Mechanic? Whether it be something new for the town, or even something just random, or a random map, whatever you want to see, just comment below and we'll get working. But I've got some ideas in my head, but I always like to hear from you guys. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump in here. As you can see, we are in our old truck. Now, it does have a new trailer on it, and there's a reason for this trailer. We're going to be hauling around something a bit different. So anyways, let's drive back into the farm. Now, last episode, we had the farmhouse here on the right. It is fantastic. Hopefully, I believe it should be up for download on the workshop. I know I've been a bit slow about that. I have to do a different process to get stuff on the workshop now, but that should be up by now. So you've got that. You can see there is something to the left of it there. We're going to go over that. That is a chicken coop. It's got big mutant chickens in it too. So we've got that. We've got a whole new area back here. These are all new buildings. I've got new attachments. We've got a lot to show you guys here today. So we're going to park here, and oh, there is a piece of my car that is painted black. Huh. Must have hit that when I was painting the trailer. Yeah, this trailer is really meant for hay. So it's not like a huge big hay trailer, but it'll haul 1 or 2 bales to town, say if you want to go sell them off. As you can see, I've got a new storage area for hay, and there is a new field for hay. So that kind of brings up the next thing, and it's going to be all the attachments that we have here today, and we have a lot. The first one is the huge sprayer. Now this is for the big tractor, as you can see here. It's very cool. It folds out. We'll demonstrate that. Here is a huge hay baler, and this thing is really cool. Mr. Non-Newtonian made this, and it does some really awesome things. I'll demonstrate that for you guys. Here is the new big mower attachment for the tractor. Now, we didn't leave out the small tractor, the one that's sitting in the garage there. It's got a mini hay baler too, so we'll probably look at that. It's basically the same as the big one, just smaller. So we've got that. As you can see, this is a brand new building here. A lot of you guys wanted to see like a workshop slash storage area for all of our tractors and neat stuff. And I have a new covered storage. I figured I'm not going to be able to fit the big combine harvester in a storage building, so might as well give it some covered storage. So you've got that. Of course, you got the new hay storage over there. And there's a new tractor down there too. It's a much requested tractor. So we'll check that out here in a second. Alright, here is the new building. This is a storage area slash workshop. This was one of the most requested buildings, and it makes the most sense because all my tractors were just setting out in the open. So you can come into through the side door here, all the main garage doors close. You've got like a workbench over here. Here's all your controllers for all the doors. I like to do these on the wall like this now because it makes it easy where you can go in if you need to adjust something. Plus it looks kind of cool. So you've got that, got all the storage for new parts, whatever you would need. It's got some tires here. You've got like a tool chest. You've got I kind of think this is like a fuel area. I don't know exactly how farms do. I'm sure they have some sort of fuel storage because with all the vehicles, I couldn't imagine like, all right, we got to drive to town every time we want to fill something up. So you got that. Now you've also got all the tractors. Now the big tractor's been modified a bit for the new attachments. We'll go over that here in a second. Here's the cattle slash horse trailer from the last episode. I took it off the truck and I stuck it in here, but you can always reattach it. The little hitch is up here. You'd have to weld it onto the truck. So anyways, we've got that. We're ready to go ahead and probably play with some attachments here. Alright, as you can see, I've turned on the grass out here. Now, I attempted to build a field out here. I attempted to use like a big flat slab, and it didn't work. The game didn't like it. It was lagging really bad. So we had to keep the flat area out here. You can see all the hay bales already in place. So what we're going to do here, we're going to attach all 3 of these attachments. 2 of them kind of work together. Of course, you got the mower. It would mow the hay or mow the grass and then let it dry out. I think there's another attachment that kind of lines it up. I'm not 100% sure, but then you would run the hay baler over it. Now the sprayer is morely for like crops and stuff, but we're still going to use it out here. So let's hop in here, and we're going to back up. Now I will get a little bit of lag with the collisions here. These attachments aren't as bad as that trailer over there, but they still do produce some lag, and I am completely off center here. Let's go ahead and try to get in. Like I said, the tractor does have a bit more power to pull the hay baler. It's just a product of how heavy that thing is, so let's go ahead and back up here, and we're going to get hooked in. This one's really snug, so actually I think we're right there, so we're going to hit the 1 key. There we go. And let's go forward a bit. We're almost on the motor. There we go. Alright, we're ready to go there. Now, of course, we have to jump out and actually turn the motors on. There's a couple blades there. You can hear them spinning up. Let's see. Now, we're going to go ahead. Let's lift this. There we go. We are mowing. It's got the back guide wheels back there. You're going to hear a little bit of tire spin with the back tires. It's just the way it is. I mean, there's nothing I can really do about it. But yeah, you can mow up and down here, or at least pretend you're mowing. Of course, we're not actually mowing the grass. It just looks cool. It's just one of those things. I like to build stuff that looks like it works. I mean, it doesn't necessarily work in the game. That's what basically the whole town is. But yeah, it works really good. You've got the back guide wheels on the mower. You can see the blades going down there. It's got the little opening in the back, so it should spit the grass out. Ideally, you'd mow in like lines. That way you'd have it lined up for the hay baler. Yeah, it works really good. It doesn't really lag, which is surprising. It's really secure, so I haven't had this mower fall off yet, and I'm able to go over hills and stuff, so it's a really secure attachment. You do see I'm popping a little bit of a wheelie. I might have to counter the weight in the tractor a bit, maybe put a couple more metal blocks in the front to keep it from doing that. It's just a product of making these attachments out of metal. Yeah, it should line up here. Now, ooh, it does not like me getting near these hay bales. These hay bales are all loose objects. I did at first weld them down to like these little pipe pieces, but it looked odd because they were all hovering off the ground. So I decided let's just stick them on the ground. Yeah, that is the mower attachment. We're going to go ahead and play with the sprayer next. The hay baler is the best one, so we're going to save that attachment for last. But yeah, this was some of the attachments you guys wanted to see. I know I didn't hit all of the attachments. There was a couple more that I missed. I just didn't have quite the time for them, so we're going to turn that off. And we're going to unhook here, so let's go 1. Now you need to back up a bit to get off of this one, and you're going to need to hit 1 again, so it should back off. Oh, nope, we grabbed it again. Oh, that's the radio. We're a little off-centered, so let's hit 1 again. This one's a really tight attachment. There we go. Alright, so we're off of that one. Now, we're going to grab the sprayer next, and this is probably, as far as the way it looks, this is my favorite one. We're going to back up here. This one's got another pretty high hitch. It's not quite as aggressive as the mower, but this one can be looser. It's just a wider attachment once you unfold it, so it doesn't tend to slip off. Let's see. Let's try to line up here. Actually, let's go forward. Kind of bad at doing this. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, nope, nope. Go a little back. Actually, I'm on a little bit of an incline here. Here we go. This should be okay. Pop on. There we go. All right, we're ready to pull this around. Let's go ahead. This is a little bit wider. I don't think I want to run over the hay bale, so let's go this way. Now, for this attachment, you want to keep the hitch down. All right, here is our sprayer. Now, this isn't going to work the best out here. I cannot find like a really flat area for this thing. That's why I wanted to build a field out here and have like a completely flat concrete surface, but the game lagged so bad that it made it basically impossible. So this is going to be a hard attachment to actually roll. Maybe if you guys want to download this off the workshop, you would do it and maybe build your farm in a flat world. That way it's easier for you guys to drag this along. It does drag along. It drags along fine. I'm just worried about hitting these bumps. I added a couple pipe pieces because if I hit these bumps, I'm afraid it's going to launch this thing off. Of course, this was fine in the flat world. Let's see, can we get between these rocks? I don't really know what we're spraying at here, but we're doing things. But yeah, it folds out. There's a little button on the side. You've got the little guide wheels and all the nozzles. You got the 2 big tanks on it, and I built these pipe pieces to make it look like it's actually flowing down and going into the nozzles. So it's a really neat attachment. It's kind of close to the one I built in one of my very early farm videos about 6 months ago. It's just bigger and it works better. The one I had, when it unfolded, it would always like tend to like fall over and stuff. But yeah, it's a cool attachment. It's not very practical for the terrain out here, but let's go park it back over by the farm and I'll show you guys what it looks like when you fold it up. Alright, so say you're ready to, you're done spraying here and you want to fold it back up. You just come over here, hit this button, and it should, there it goes. It's going to roll up there, and we're going to detach, so we're going to hit the 1 key again. I did add a couple extra pipe pieces. I figured, I guess with the terrain, we needed those. So those are those attachments. We're going to go to the hay baler next, and this thing's a beast. It does something really cool. It is heavy. So we're going to see how the tractor handles it. It handled it fine on the flat world, but of course we're dealing with bumps now, so we might be popping a major wheelie and we might have to add some metal parts to the tractor, but let's see. Now this one lags a bit, so keep that in mind. Looks like we're there, so we're going to hit 1. Okay, we're on it. Alright, so we're going to start driving here, and you can see the wheel spin. It's those back wheels are trying. You know, somebody suggested that I put the little, I don't say rivets, the little nuts. I think maybe I've got a couple blocks I might be able to place them on those back wheels. If I can get those on, maybe it'll create some more grip. This actually isn't bad though. We're about to bump into a hay bale. Boop. There we go. But yeah, of course, the way this thing works, you would be going over the dead grass, the dried out grass. It's gonna roll it up and into a bale like the ones we have over in the storage area. Everything kind of matches here. So let's get out to the flat area and I'll show you guys how this thing actually works. Now keep in mind, this is just for show. It only does this once. You'd have to reload it each time. But yeah, we're gonna go, say we've been running over quite a bit and say we're in this line here. Like I said, I do apologize for the lag here. Say we're ready to dump here, so we're gonna have to actually go back and press the button manually. I wish there was a way to wirelessly link that to the cockpit, but there isn't. So we're gonna go back here and press this button. So yeah, I didn't actually have this thing on. It does make quite a bit of racket. To turn this on, it's actually got a little, I don't know if it's a blade or it's whatever's picking up that hay, and it would come rolling up through here, roll it up, and then once it's to a point, you're ready to spit out the bale. So say we're ready to go for that portion, we're gonna hit this button here and boop, there's your hay bale. So you would actually be driving off. Man, I really wish you can control this from the cockpit. I guess you could if I were to weld this to the tractor itself, but then the other attachments you'd have to cut off and weld each time. Now you guys are more than welcome to do that if you want to. You can always weld this to it and then link the buttons to the cockpit, but I prefer to be able to use multiple attachments. That's why it's the way it is. So we're through there. We got our new, wherever it went, the bale of hay. Oh, we got the little, this is the glitch. This is the scrap mechanic thing. Watch this. The door's not closing. Oh, actually it unhooked itself there. Sometimes doors get stuck. You just gotta place a block down. Yeah, it's the hay baler. That is a really cool attachment. Like I said, Mr. Non-Newtonian made that one. So we're gonna go unhook that. I'm gonna show you the rest of the things that we've added to the farm here today. You know, surprisingly, this area does not look bad at all with the grass up. I was afraid, I haven't checked the house to see if grass is going up through, but I think the grass is on, or I think the house is on like a little dirt mound, so this might actually work for the farm. This actually looks really cool. So yeah, there's all those attachments. Of course, we got the mini tractor here. It's got a hay baler too. It's the same thing as far as the big one. Now, if you guys are wondering like how this works, all it is this little block here, this little red one. I say when you're ready to dump the hay bale, I do not suggest driving around with a loose hay bale in there because it'll get you down in the single digits as far as frames. But you would delete this block here, and now you've got a loose hay bale in there. Now, of course, you'd have to reload it every time you want to do it again, but it's still a really cool effect. So we're gonna, oh, that's actually yellow. We're gonna paint that. Say we were doing the same thing, so we would dump them off, and of course that would be attached to a trailer. So yeah, that one dumps out a mini hay bale. But yeah, it still works. It's pretty much the same thing as the big one. But yeah, you have that, and then you have the attachment, the other smaller attachment from the last episode. So I got a couple more things to show you guys. This is the hay bale storage. None of these items are actually loose, but if you want to go push around some of the hay bales out there, you've got the front end loader you can push them around with. You can then push it up in the trailer on the truck, say you want to take a couple hay bales to town, or if you just want to push it over to the storage. That's what this was for. Now I was tempted to build a Bobcat, but then I realized, well, we've already got a front end loader. It basically works the same way as this on this tractor, so I decided not to do that. So we've got all that, and you've got our last tractor here. Now a lot of people were suggesting like an old tractor, so I believe this is called like a Messy. I could be wrong, or I could be pronouncing that wrong. I think they still make these. I could be wrong about that, but I've seen some pictures where they look a little more modern. But this is based off an old tractor. It's got the really close front wheels here. It's got a almost like a saddle seat on these, and there's not much on the back. It's got a little spot for a hitch. The engine's typically exposed. There's no suspension on this one. It's just a kind of a rough ride. It's kind of what you picture from a retro tractor. This one drives really cool. I mean, but yeah, this one drives really fine. It's turns easy. I was a little afraid with those front wheels. I almost thought maybe we were gonna have to use a suspension glitch to get this thing to turn around. But I figured, pretty much every farm that I've seen has some sort of retro equipment on it. You've got all the modern stuff, but you always have that one retro tractor that might not even be working. It's just setting over to the corner. We had one. I lived out in the country, and I didn't necessarily live on a farm, but we had some old tractors and stuff like that. But yeah, we can do that. Of course, I'm always crashing my tractors. I'll flip those back over here. Alright folks, we are off to our last thing with the farm. Now let's go ahead and park our retro tractor over here. We have a chicken pen. Now I tried to make other animals and they all looked hideous. The chickens look pretty bad too, but I'm almost going to call these mutant chickens. There's something about the eyes. Like, I didn't have eyes on them at first, but it looked weird, and then I put eyes on them, and then it still looked weird. Now they look like they have big bug eyes. But that's what I came up with for chickens. We got a chicken pen in here. The grass is actually going up through the feeder. You got a little area here for water. You got the tanks. You've got the actual coop. They might be a little fat for the coops, but chickens, I think they could squeeze through there. You got a hidden duck over there. The door's closed. Just a neat little addition. I figure we didn't really have any animal areas. I mean, we had the barn that had a little storage area, or had the pens, and then you had the big fenced area out here. Now, I would have liked to have fenced off more. Like, I completed the fence around the farm, but I didn't have an area really. Like, I wanted to fence off way out there in the flat world, but or at least the flat area by the fence, and the fence wasn't going to work out there. It's so hilly. I'd have to make the fence go into the ground, and it looked really odd, so I left it open. But yeah, I figured we needed some chickens at least. But anyways, guys, that's going to be the farm final here today. Now, when I say final, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to make any more farm equipment. Of course, I can go back and make a couple more things, but I want to shift my focus as far as the episodes on a different town projects or different projects in Scrap Mechanic in general. But I figured I'd go ahead and knock this out. It took probably one more episode than I would have liked. I thought I was going to be able to keep it down to about 3, but it took 4. There were so many good suggestions from you guys. But over here, I know I talked about doing a lumber area. I'm still going to do that, not here though. I found a better spot in the map here that I could build a little bit bigger facility. So that's a plan for the future. But anyways, guys, I want to go ahead and thank you guys for everything. If you want to give off some more suggestions for the town, or it could be just anything in Scrap Mechanic, I'm willing to do just builds, new maps, old maps, new stuff for the town. Whatever you guys want to see, just comment below. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I'm going to try to get as much of this stuff on the workshop as quick as possible. Like I said, it is a little difficult for me now since I have to use somebody else to upload it and then we share it across. But anyways, guys, if you'd like to like and subscribe, everything helps my channel. We should have some more My Summer Car coming out tomorrow. So if you want to join us for that, and like I said, I'll post yesterday's Scrap Mechanic viewer creation episode in the description below. But hope you guys have a good weekend, and we will see you guys next time in Scrap Mechanic. Thank you!